section of blubber there if they have any problems keeping warm or maintaining a steady temperature.
Yeah, I wonder.
Obviously, like all the ones, 99% of them we see here are fully healed. You don't see a lot of fresh wounds or nothing, so
No.
that must mean that it's fine for them.
Yep, they're still swimming around, having a grand old time. Yeah. That blubber layer is just so incredible on the whales as well to keep them insulated and warm.
They said up to 40% of their body mass will be
Yeah.
blubber at times.
It's incredible. That's what you got to do to stay warm in these freezing Arctic waters and everything else.
Yeah, get fat on all these capelin here, and then that kind of gives them the fuel they need for the winter.
Yep.
I'd like to know the difference in body weight, you know, say like a black bear or something, a spring bear in comparison to a fall bear when it's ready to go hibernate.
Definitely.
They could be, 100 or more pounds heavier, depending on the location, like where the bear is and what it's eating. That's a lot. And you think how much bigger these whales are. Be curious to hear how much they put on. They gotta eat 58 to 60 pounds of fish a day.
Wow, that's incredible. But I guess it's what you need out here.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna make that migration or anything else, you definitely need that energy and need that fat store.
Huh. We're having problems with the on-deck cam again. That sucks.
Oh no. Feels like the wind's picked up a bit as well. It just has to prove you wrong. I would say knock on wood, but we're kind of in the middle of the estuary. I'd say knock on wood, but we're kind of in the middle of the estuary. There's a couple on your left here. Got a few around us right now. When I was out kayaking, I saw one spy hops when they poke their head up above the water, and it's super funny to see because they almost look like they get panicked. They're like, oh no. Yeah, it was a pretty clear, calm day, so. Oh, he is pretty little, that one.
Yeah. I'm always shocked that they're able to migrate. Like, they're still super small right now, and they're expected to leave soon, right?
Yes.
Just say at the end of the month is when they'll start moving, and it's impressive to think that little thing is gonna make its way up north and spend the winter up there.
Yeah.
Getting into nice clear water. Got lots of whales around us now. Got a few on the starboard side. And It's now just gotten way more choppy out here all of a sudden.
They literally come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta have your head on a swivel out here pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like I need eyes in the back of my head.
Yeah.
I keep hearing them blow behind us, and then I turn the other way, and they're on the other side, and they're just messing with me today.
Yeah. A few of them under the boat. They're not really vocal right now, though. Oh, and a couple more blobs coming our way from the front.
And there's still a few hanging back here by the motor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much to get quite a bit more choppy out here.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like the wind picked up that much. Oh, there's a big one too,
Yeah, he's huge. Oh my gosh, look at him. He's on his side right now.
Might be able to spot him on the camera. The water looks pretty clear. Yeah, they're sort of just swimming all around us, eh?
Yeah. It's kind of nice that they're white. I can actually see them through some of the murk.
Yeah.
You can see the shadows or the reflections off of them.
This year, I've said it a few times on here, but this year is the first time I've seen capelin. It's like schools of them
Oh,
swimming.
really?
And we'd sit like just at, I guess the whales pushed them our way towards the boats. Then all of a sudden we were surrounded by them, and the white backdrop. So when the whales swam underneath,
Yep.
you kind of got a perfect backdrop, so you could see all the capelin.
Oh, wow.
Their camouflage didn't work then. It's pretty neat to see. I hadn't seen that many before. I seen them last year snorkeling, but it was nothing compared to that day.
Oh. We were doing some tidal walks with a couple groups at the center, and they were even just washing up on the beach, and we're a little further down the river. So where the Ithaca is, there's a shipwreck down by Bird Cove, and we were doing some there, and we could see capelin on the shores, and it was incredible.
Yeah. There's years, I guess, where people are able to wade into the water and just you dip a 5-gallon pail in and you can fill it full of capelin.
Wow, that's incredible.
I think guys used to feed them to their dogs, and people ate them too. And
Yep. Makes sense.
it'd be same pretty much as, little sardines or something.
Earlier this year, people kept saying that there was big bait balls of them. So we were at the flats one night having a bonfire, and we have a couple people who showed up and was like, "Oh, do you see the bait ball out there?" And the belugas were just going insane,
Oh, really?
fluking up and everything, just diving down to grab them all. But that was a lot earlier in the season.
They're usually around Canada Day, I believe, is when they're kind of spawning.
Yep.
Yeah, the whales, when they create suction. Because it seems like when you watch them swim around, their top speed, the beluga whale, isn't that fast, and it's like for short bursts. So you wouldn't expect that they could be wrangling up a whole bunch of capelin, but they have really powerful suction.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I was reading something, and the guy said in an aquarium they had a beluga, and they actually had to train it to not suck as hard, because you'd put your fist 12 inches from its face and it could just suck your hand right into its mouth.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. So
Definitely very powerful.
It'd be pretty easy. Yeah, just get within a couple feet of those capelin and they could probably get a whole mouthful of them.
Yeah.
And then of course they'd also have their little tactics, right? Doing the bubbles and stuff to kind of corral them up. And
Yeah.
what I want to see here one day is a bowhead.
Oh yeah, they occasionally pop in here, don't they?
I don't know how how many years gaps there usually is or how often, but that'd be the ultimate.
That'd be incredible. And I've heard there was a couple orcas here a couple years ago, and they're incredible as well.
Yeah.
But someone was telling me that they scare a lot of stuff away, though. The seals and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, they're here to hunt. I'm told the orcas will usually show up. If they do, it's in September.
Oh,
Or like
interesting.
late August, September. But I don't know the bowheads, if it's just random, if they just happen to be cruising by. I know someone in town who's seen one breach in the estuary.
Oh, that's incredible.
Which is super weird too, because it's so
Yeah.
shallow in here, you wouldn't expect
Yeah.
a big whale like that to come into the river.
Yeah, Leanne, our science coordinator at the center, always refers to it as almost like a saucer. The way the base formed, how it's so shallow. You
Oh.
almost have that lip, and then it goes a little deeper, but not that much deeper.
Yeah.
So to see one breach would be incredible, but also why? I wonder what's causing it to do that, or what behavior it's displaying there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they have a trail dredged in there too for the ships that's 8 meters maybe.
Okay.
But I seen one of the sea lifts here this year, and had the Zodiac out, and it was almost at the 8 meter watermark. So I think it has to be deeper than 8 meters. Like the hull of the ship had been, they got those lines measuring on the
Yes.
sides, and I think it said around, or it was, what was it? It was, I don't know, something like 12 meters, and there's only 4 meters showing on the measuring. So I was like, well, it should be scraping bottom then, but
Yep.
it's got to be deeper than 8 then. But yeah, it's just like a little channel through the buoys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of tempted to drift and see if those whales show up again.
There's quite a few on us for a little bit. But yeah.
And then just like that, there's no more boats in the estuary either.
So what's the craziest thing you've ever seen out in the water this year?
Since the season was cut a little short, we didn't get to spend as much time out here, but we've had a few days where the whales are just swarming.
Oh, that's incredible.
Like lots of times they'll follow us around, and you'll get a large group of them behind the boat and touring around. But this year they kind of just totally engulf the boat, like just at all sides. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was all like those couple days I said when we were out in front of the port. But yeah, every day is different. It's like you can't really ever expect, the same behavior, or the amount of whales, or there's one couple cruising by.
You almost have to expect the unexpected.
Yeah, they're all, however their mood is that day, pretty much. Here they come.
Yeah.
Might have one or two passing by the cam.
Yep.
It's tough for me to see today, the screen, it's super sunny.
Oh no.
But looks like we're getting some snapshots in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I could show you kind of what you can kind of see it. That's got quite a few whales in it.
Oh, that's incredible.
Water looks pretty clear in these ones.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
crazy to
there's a
see
good belly.
that.
That's a good belly shot, and you can see the neck. Um, I'm guessing those are the
Oh, yeah.
tendons, like flexed. Could be moving its head.
Oh, wow. Yeah, someone was telling me they actually have pretty flexible necks and heads considering, because a lot of
Yeah,
whales
they.
don't.
No, the seven vertebrae in their cervical spine, they're not fused like they are in most other whale species.
Oh, cool.
So that allows them, yeah, to. Oh, there's we got a bunch right under here. That allows them to, yeah, move their heads. I think it's cool because then you know as they're cruising by the boat and they physically turn their heads to look up at you, you know that it's kind of you could tell how aware and smart they are. And
Definitely.
I'm sure any whale, right? Like if you had an orca cruising by the boat, I mean it's looking at you, but it's not as obvious because they're unable to turn their heads.
Yeah, they'd have to turn their whole bodies.
Yeah.
I just think it's incredible what's going on under us that we don't realize.
Oh, yeah.
Like we just see the surface and the shadows under the boats, but to see those snapshots are amazing. Looking
Yeah,
into the unseen world that is.
Yeah, whole other world down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting to get quite a few gathering around. I got 2 more cruising by the underwater cam. Oh, a couple turned around. That one's got a little calf over there, it looked like.
Yeah. Ooh, he's pretty close.
Oh yeah, he's doing a lap around the boat.
Checking us out.
Oh, another one coming. It's hard, it's so faint when they're deep. Like you can kind of just see a little shade, like change in the water. There's a whale way down there.
Or I have a hard time spotting the juveniles when they're under us. That gray camouflage or coloring really helps.
Oh, we can keep moving. Looks like those 2 are coming our way.
Yep.
And some on my side as well. Right behind us. We're all getting some
There's
good
a couple
belly
following
shots.
us behind us as well.
Oh yeah. It's just crazy how close, you know, you.
Yeah. You can literally see their face, and I love that giant forehead melon area they have. It's just, it's so funny looking sometimes.
Oh, might have one here. Oh, I thought he was biting the camera. He might have just bumped it.
Oh, you're really big. They're definitely not shy whales, I'll say that.
No, they're pretty curious.
And the water's pretty clear, which is nice.
Oh, I think he's trying to bite the camera. He's doing something to it.
Does that happen a lot? They try to bite the camera?
Yeah, we get I'll see, usually if they're chomping on it, we'll get a couple pictures of the inside of their mouth.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they like to give it a little taste test. Maybe it's because I painted capelin all over the side of it. No, I'm joking.
Then you're
Looks
just
like a little-
asking to get chomped
Looks
on.
like a little school of capelin going through the water. No, I don't know why they like to bite it. We get lots where they come nose right up to the camera too, which is cool close-ups of their face. This one's rolled right over.
Yeah. They're just trying to show off that amazing melon they have, that giant
Yeah.
forehead.
This one's sure liking hanging out next to the camera.
And there's a couple. Oh! And there's quite a few on the back of the boat here as well.
Oh really? I'm sitting
Yeah.
here staring at this one that's... It's really hard to say what he's doing to that camera. I can't tell really if he's trying to bite it or if he's just rubbing on it or... Yeah, we got quite a few
It looks
back
like
there.
a little one there as well.
Oh yeah. Little calf.
They all want a little tastier camera, it
Yeah.
seems like.
Let's see here. Woo! Oh yeah, some pictures of his nose. Oh, looks like there's a good photo of maybe a scar on one of their backs. Still, there's one lingering back there.
Another little calf.
Oh, we got quite a few.
Yeah.
On both sides and behind the boat.
And again, they just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. Lots of times too, they'll kind of, leave. You think they're going. I think this one's bumping the camera down there. And then, then they just decide to come back. So it's trying to nose up to the pontoon on my side. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. There's one that looks like it's swimming on its side over here.
Not sure where to point this camera. They're all over the place.
That's a good problem to have. Good
Yeah.
problem. Just saw the face of one, and those lips are hilarious, the little mouths.
And always have a permanent smile.
Yes. How can you not love it?
It's like a sloth. How they've always got a big smile on their face.
Yep. They're definitely not camera shy, I'll give them
No.
that. At least not today.
Yeah, they're loving the boat today.
About 4 on my side. Pretty close to the boat.
I can see a few. They're deeper over here. They're down there. This guy's rolling over.
Yep.
He's big too.
Mhm.
I read something about like the whales. They spend a lot of time belly up. They roll around lots in the water.
Interesting.
And one reason they think they're able to direct their sonar better for hunting because they'll feed off the seafloor as well.
Okay, so they're trying
So-
to direct it down.
Mhm.
Oh.
Not sure if that's like a known fact or if that's just an idea, but it's kind of interesting. It sort of makes sense.
Yep. Especially if they can direct it through that fat they have up there, or that oil.
Yeah.
That amazing little forehead.
Yeah, it's cool
It's
if
not-
you get to see it shape. You know, they can change the shape of it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Looks weird when that thing starts moving around and
Yeah. It's not just for show. There is a function.
yeah.
Wow. It's a pretty big guy.
When they used to hunt them too, they used that oil from their melon. It was supposedly a good oil to use in watches.
Watches. Really?
Yeah, seems.
Huh.
I don't know
I've
how
always
how
heard
you
as
figure that out.
Huh. I've always heard of sperm whales being the poster child for that, and just for heat lamps and oil lamps and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Interesting.
Still got a pile of them down there.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed belugas definitely roll a lot more than some of the mysticetes, so the baleen whales. I've never really seen them roll too often.
Yeah.
Where these guys just love going in circles.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to school to be a marine biologist.
Oh, really?
So I love stuff like this
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
this
different
is-
questions of why different marine mammals do different things and everything else.
Right up your alley then, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
How long's that schooling?
It's about 4 years and I'm going into my 3rd year.
Oh, wow. It's
Yeah.
getting close.
Definitely. The end is in sight.
Are
But
you planning on like next summer going elsewhere, or would you come back to Churchill, or what? Do you do something different each summer then, or?
not all the times, but I always like to say wherever the wind blows me.
Yeah.
I'd like to come back to Churchill, but it all depends on a couple different factors.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I want to do my own honors, so do my own research project, or different things like that. Yeah. But Churchill's definitely grown on me. It's such an amazing town, such amazing people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of people that are here that live here now are people that just wanted to come check it out and were trying to pass through town, and then next thing you know, a few years have gone by. do like for marine biology, because some people don't they want to change the classification for polar bears
Yeah.
to be a marine mammal?
Yes.
So does that fall into your wheelhouse then? Like, do you guys do?
A little bit. Because my school's on the East Coast, we focus a lot with fisheries and especially lobsters because that is one of our main industries, as well as aquaculture. But I think polar bears are super cool and I'd love to learn more about them, but I don't know if they're specifically my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But
Oh, looks like those whales might be moving on. I guess too, where you're going to school, that's pretty prime territory if you wanted to be on the water for all summer.
yep. My family jokes that I should have been a fish instead.
Yeah.
Because I just love always going out in the water, always swimming, always. Whenever I can, I like to get out.
Yeah. Do you know much about the Marine Observatory then?
No, I actually don't.
Because yeah, now they're, with that sea lift coming, they're kind of rocking now. They're going to be building, and I think they have most of what they need for the time being, I guess. So construction started again, which is exciting. It was put on hold when the train went down.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I've been up to Cape Marion a couple times, and the few times I've been up, it looks like they've been working on it. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how it does once it's built, and who uses the facilities as well.
Yeah.
See what research comes of it.
Yeah. I heard, and I don't know if it's like a fact, but
Oh,
because that's a really tiny little guy.
really little guy, still kind of beige.
Yeah. There may be, in the future, more ship traffic traveling through Hudson Bay. So
Okay.
they wanted to find a baseline, like how are things here now, and then in the future they could tell if we're having a large impact or a negative impact on.
Yeah, that's definitely a good place to start. Is you always need a baseline, right?
Yeah. And again, I don't know. I can't remember who I was talking to about that, but
Ooh,
I don't know if that's their main focus or if they're going to be doing other things.
yeah. I don't know. There's so much to study here. There's so many unknowns, I should say. Like the whales are definitely a huge draw, but also what's on the bottom and different things like that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know there is until last summer. We had a guest on the boat, and he was talking. He was on a research vessel for part of the summer,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, there's scallops and crabs and everything here too. And if you go down towards the quarry, you can find the scallop shells washed up on shore. And yeah, you don't kind of consider those things.
It's just incredible, and to see populations, so how those sizes are doing and those stocks are doing, be super amazing.
Yeah.
As well as the things that people don't normally think about. We recently had a researcher up at the study center who was trying to look at some of the seaweed and different things like that as well that wash up on shore.
Oh yeah.
So super cool stuff that people don't think about.
No. We were finding those rockfish. Is that what they're called? The little spiny things.
Oh, yep, or sometimes sculpin.
Oh, okay. Are they the same? The ones that flare out?
They almost look like they have wings on the side. They're pretty big paddle shaped.
Like we were getting them in our nets. They're about that big.
Yep.
Like dark brown. If you put them back in the water, they disappear. You can't see them. Like they blend in. But when you're handling them, or if they get scared, they flare their gills out, and all those spikes come out of them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they're aggressive little things.
You gotta watch yourself on them.
But yeah, little stuff like that. It was fun this summer, spending more time doing things like that, because then you learn more, right? You get to see more and stuff, and
Definitely.
so I had no idea those existed here.
Yeah, we have a marine tank at the center as well that I just love to look at because every time I do, I spot something new.
Yeah.
Or there's shannies, there's sculpins. We have a lumpfish right now, just a little tiny guy. Some seaweed, so many sea stars. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
And it's just incredible. And there's even a really old Arctic lyre crab.
Oh really?
I like to nickname her Houdini because she always runs away and we always think we lose her, but she's just so good at hiding and she blends in.
Oh, they're getting really chatty down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that small tank, it's surprising that things can vanish in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught a cod earlier in the summer too, jigging out in the bay.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize they were this far into the bay, I
Yeah,
guess.
they're all tiny little things. There's a lot of whales.
Okay.
But yeah, it was kind of neat to pull one of them up.
Yeah, it was incredible. Earlier on when I first came here,